Welcome back. We are working our way down through Module 10. We're talking about how to format our worksheets. We've talked about a lot of different things already, but I want to take a few minutes and talk to you about how the fill handle actually works, and then we'll talk about how custom lists work. Now, both of these go hand in hand. That's why I wanted to talk to you about these at the same time. If you remember, the fill handle will actually let you copy whatever's in the cell you're clicked on. Also, there are some pre-designed lists that we kind of mentioned in an earlier module. Let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how the fill handle works. If you're clicked on a cell, you're going to notice on the bottom right-hand corner of that cell is a little box, and we call that little box your fill handle. We've talked a little bit about this in previous modules, but remember that the fill handle will do one of two things. It will copy whatever's in the cell you're clicked on. And remember, you could have just a number, or you might have some text, or you might have a formula. The other thing is there are some pre-designed lists already in Excel. Those are days of the week, months of the year. And if you type any of those from one of those lists, then it will copy that list for you. Let me give you an example. Let's say I put Friday in here. And whether I hit the Enter key or not, I can drag that fill handle down, and it will continue that list for me. Or notice I can also grab it and go across this way. You just can't go diagonal. It won't work like that. But you can see that it continued the list for me. Now the abbreviations also work. Let me go ahead and select this and hit delete. Let's say here that I typed SAT for Saturday. Well, all I have to do now is drag my fill handle, and you'll see it completed the list for me. And again, that's because that is a predefined list already set up in the custom list we're going to look at in a little bit. Let's talk about numbers for a moment. Let me go ahead and delete what's in here. Let's say that you wanted to number something. Let's just say 1 to 10. If you just type the number 1 and hit the Enter key, when you go back and try to drag your fill handle, it's going to actually copy whatever was in that cell. And that's because it doesn't know in what sequence you want to type your numbers. If you want it to count for you, you have to type in a particular sequence. If I type 1, and then I put 2 in the next cell, and then I go back and select both cells. That's the trick, is you have to select both of them so it knows in which sequence you want to count. Now drag the fill handle, and it will continue the list for you. This could be any sequence. I might come over here and say 25 and then 50 like this. And then if I select them both, drag the fill handle, you'll see it's counting, in this case, by 25s. It'll also count negatively. What if I type 6 and 3? And then I do the same thing, it will go 0, -3, -6, all the way down. So you can pretty much have it count in any sequence that you would like. Now let me go ahead and delete all of this. I want to take you into where these lists live basically, and how you can actually work with these lists if you want to make some changes, add your own list, things like that. Where we're going is to the File tab, and we're going to the Options in Excel. When we get in here, what you want to do is you'll notice there's some options on the left. You want to choose Advanced, and then you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom and start looking up, because you're looking for right here where it says Edit Custom List. Here are the days of the week, months of the year that I mentioned, and that's why it works if you type any one of those and then drag your fill handle. You do have the ability to create your own list. Now notice you can't edit these lists. These are the ones set up in Excel. But if you're clicked on New List here, you can type your new list over here. Let's say that you want to add 3 departments. We'll put in Admin, we'll put in Maintenance, and we'll do Personnel. We'll just do it this way. Now all you have to do is hit Add over on the right, and you can see that it has added your list to the custom list. I'm going to click OK, and then we'll try it out back here. Anywhere in my spreadsheet, I'm going to type any item from that list. I'll do Maintenance, M-A-I-N-T, and you'll notice that once you do this and grab your fill handle, it will continue that list for you. That's great if you have a list that you type repetitively and you'd like to be able to start with any item in that list. Now let's say this. Let's say that over here you already have a list set up. Let's say that that list is a list of first names. We'll put in here Alan, we'll say Larry, and we'll say Melody. If I already have the list set up, I don't have to retype the list. You can just open the file the list is in and select the list. When I go back to the same place, I go back to File, the Options. I want to use the Advanced option here I see on the left. Scroll down to the bottom and look up until you see this button that says Edit Custom List. Now if you look down here, you're going to see this range here, and that is the range you actually have selected. All you have to do is hit Import and you'll see it brought your list in for you. Now you just click OK and OK again, and the list is in here. Let's try it out over here. I'm going to put in Larry, and let's go ahead and drag the fill handle and see what happens. And you can see that once it goes to the bottom of the list, it repeats the list again for you. And it's always going to start with the one that you actually type in. Now let's say that you want to delete one of these lists. I'm going back to the same place. I'm going back to Options. I'm going to use the Advanced option on the left. Scroll to the very bottom and look for Edit Custom List. You can't delete the ones that Excel put in, but you can delete the ones that you just put in. You will not delete where you've used the list in any of your workbooks. You will only be deleting it from this place so that you can't use it again in the future. I'm going to go ahead and hit delete over to the right, and it does warn me that my list will be permanently deleted. Let me try one more. I'm going to hit delete and click OK, and then it will tell me the list will be permanently deleted. I'll go ahead and click OK and OK. And you'll notice that back in Excel, the lists are still here, but they're not over in the custom list anymore. Now, one thing to know is the custom list is for all of Excel, not just the file you're clicked in. So if you wanted to go ahead and just set them up, you could, and then you can just use that fill handle in any workbook that you happen to be working in. Well, that's a quick wrap up of Module 10. I want to go ahead now and take you over to Module 11, and we're going to talk in Module 11 about working with charts.